Saw Rush in Toronto last night. I wanted to give you my thoughts, my review, and my review of Rushcon as well. Mike Massey here. I got to perform at the Rushcon Harbor Cruise on Saturday night when Rush had the night off. It was super fun. Played a lot of Rush. And some non-Rush. And people liked it and sang along. It was a lot of fun. The Rush concert, let's just start there and then I'll talk about Rushcon. But the thoughts I was having this morning was, I don't remember a Rush concert that was about Neil, you know, the way this was. And that was what was super cool for me. It's like this whole weekend, and Rushcon was the same way. The whole thing for me just kept bringing it back to Neil. And just everybody celebrating his life and his music, and in just a positive, uplifting way. But yeah, a little sad too. Yeah, lots of great tributes during the show, and his presence was felt, you know, his voice is felt in the lyrics, even when he's not in the room. You feel his presence through Getty, and it's amazing. The whole band was on point. It was amazing. I'm sure the act is well seasoned by now, with, you know, being kind of mid-tour or whatever, but yeah, they've definitely got their act together. Not that they needed to, but it was solid, and the visuals were incredible. I was blessed with good seats thanks to Rushcon. I was kind of in the middle on the floor and just had a central view, and it was stunning. Just watching it, and I tried to capture some on my phone because I was just like, oh, this is so cool, I want to remember this. But the fun part, one of the fun parts for me was that they filmed the concert because they're making another concert film from the Toronto leg of the tour. So they're filming all 4 concerts. And so there was cameras whizzing around, guys walking around with cameras, and there's like one, you know, like at a football game or something, where they're on the wire overhead, and people were like, woo, you know, waving to the cameras that went by and stuff. And there was lots of swooping shots where, you know, like it swooped in over our heads, and, you know, so lots of dramatic motion that's going to be captured, if not manufactured by the camera itself moving. But, you know, it's cool. It'll look great. And I was telling my girlfriend last night when I called her, I'm like, man, I already know what the concert video is going to look like, because the visuals they have on the screens are so beautiful. Like, just the camera work, and yeah, it's just like, it's a finished product. All they have to do is edit it at this point and pick their shots, because just the look of it was just stunning. And I know Getty really cares about that kind of thing and puts a lot of energy into it, and it shows. And yeah, like just the upgrade of the quality of the screen and the quality of the cameras, everything, it was magical. I don't know if the visuals, I assume they're always that good, and there was just a few extra cameras capturing stuff, but they never showed the swooping overhead camera. It was never like on the screen, I noticed. Not that I recall. So I don't know if that was if that was just there especially for the filming or not. But yeah, the visuals were great, and the sound was great too. I had my AirPods, like I was a little bit worried, like I'm gonna use them as earplugs, and I had my cute little Rushcon earplugs. I don't have them handy, but I have a picture of them. I'll maybe insert it, but yeah, and I took them out because I was just like, no, I just want to hear this. Like, I want to hear it for real with what's left of my hearing. And yeah, it sounded really great. The mix was good. And actually, I could have used a little bit more of Alex's guitar. I'm not going to lie. There were times where I was just getting, like, when songs would start sometimes, I was just getting kind of weird overtones rather than the roots of the chorus. I'm like, what key are we in? And then, like, you know, Getty come, I'm like, oh, okay, now I hear it. It was a few moments like that where it was like the sound was kind of playing tricks on me. Like, what? Where sonically are we? Because it was just like a wash, but like, it was great. And like, anytime Getty spoke on the mic. You could hear him really clearly. And when they had the videos on the screen before and after the show, which were super fun, by the way, those visuals were great. The audio was great on the visuals. You could hear the dialogue super clearly and stuff. And so the sound system was amazing. Yeah, they've got everything dialed in, and it was just a pleasure. Let me talk about the set list for a minute. Of course, they started with Xanadu, and I'm like, I don't want to give any spoilers, but yeah, the set list was one of the variations that's floating around. I'm not really up on all that, but there's people have labeled them as, one of the standard set lists, I guess. And but we got stuff that I really enjoyed hearing, like Witch Hunt, which I had performed the night before, so that was kind of fun. And Free Will and Spirit of Radio, and Red Barchetta. Always love to hear Red Barchetta. Xanadu, which is probably my favorite Rush song. They opened with that. I knew that was going to happen. We got the whole side one of Moving Pictures. We got everything from Moving Pictures except Camera Eye and Vital Signs. So that was super cool. And it was. Oh, they did Anthem. Anthem rocked. That was so good. And Working Man was a jam, man. I don't know that I ever felt it jam quite like that before. I mean, they were just really. Getty was letting go. Just his playing and Alex, they were both, just getting there, just jamming. It was fun, and Annika was, keeping up with them, and it was super cool. Getty's voice. Oh, let me talk about that. As a professional singer, I really appreciated his voice, man. It just he never let me down, and he's just got it dialed in where he's doing what he knows he can do, and he just does it, and it's great. And some of the the moments that you hope for, I hope he's gonna do that. He did it. The high part of Free Will is there, and he's nailing it. It's so good. And I think his voice has gotten better. I don't know, the rest did him well or something, and maybe the scheduling, the pacing is done well, and maybe he's got some additional, I don't know if he's gotten coaching or additional, techniques medically or whatever, but whatever he's doing, Getty, chef's kiss. Great, just perfect. I cannot move on from talking about the set list without mentioning 2112. Oh my gosh, they did 2112. And I knew that was, a possibility, but I'm so glad that was my show, because this is probably the only show I'm seeing on the whole tour. It's just probably what's gonna happen. And so the fact that I got to see 2112, and I remember I was telling some friends last night, I saw a Rush tribute band, Rush Archive, shout out, do 2112 maybe 5-6 years ago locally in Colorado. And I was like, this is so cool. I never thought I'd get to see this live, I'm thinking All the Rules of Stage, Massey Hall, 1970, whatever, and I just never thought I would get to relive that. And freaking A, I got to see Rush play 2112 in Toronto, and it was just, so good. And, he obviously modifies some of the Syrinx stuff, just to bring it down to a human level of performance. But the discovery and all that stuff where he's kind of singing lower, what can this strange device be? When I touch it gives forth the sound. It's got my hands in vibrate. I feel music. What can this thing be? So beautiful, and it was all so perfect. And I just loved getting to watch Alex play all that stuff. I've fiddled around with that on guitar, and so I was just kind of playing along in my mind. I was like, so great. And yeah, they just rocked it, and they looked like they were having fun, which was cool. I appreciated that, I think for the hometown crowd. Now I have a critique. You ready for my critique? Where was Amy Mann? I was so disappointed we didn't get a live Amy Mann. She was here. The reason my expectations were high and hopeful was that she was here on Friday and sang, with them on Friday, sang Time Stand Still. And so I was really hoping to get to see her do it live, and she wasn't there. We got, the pre-recorded vocal of her, and they used a video clip on the video screen of her, like, from the previous concert, like, so they have her mouthing Time Stand Still, but like, wait, where is she on the stage? I can't see her. She's on the video screen. Where is she? Like, she's not there. It was kind of funny. It was like, suddenly there's another person on stage, but not really. But, it sounded great. Oh, and it just sounded great. Time Stand Still sounded great. I'm not complaining about that. Not complaining about how it sounded, but I just really was hoping I'd get to hear Amy Mann do it with them, because that would be like a bucket list thing, and I think I missed my opportunity. And I was also hoping that since they're filming the shows, that maybe she would want more than one take, like more than one crack at it if she's going to be in the video, the concert video, but maybe she's not going to be in the concert video. I don't know. But I'm like, maybe she'll stick around for the whole Toronto run. Come on, that would have been fun, Amy. Just hang out in Toronto, sing with one song with Rush every night. Like, bummer. I'm sure you had other things to do, but yeah, I'm sad she wasn't there. So that was my only critique, really. But yeah, it was so fun. YYZ was great. Oh, and the Brazilians, yay, the Brazilians got a shout out. My Brazilian friends, love you. And it was so fun. They did their thing on YYZ, And the first time they did it, and it was kind of like, people were like, all right, what's going on? Like, the crowd didn't really know how to react, and they kind of faded a little bit. And then the second time when it came around in YYZ, they went for it, and people did it with them, and it was super fun. And then after they finished YYZ, Geddy gave him a shout out. He's like, I hear, Brazilian fans are here or whatever, something like that, because they sing along to YYZ, an instrumental. Like, who does that? Brazilians, that's who. Yeah, so that was super great. And I kind of like wished I was standing with them at that point, because I'm sure they were jumping up and down doing their thing, and yeah, they had their flags. And I met them before the show, like we were hanging out at a local pub, and so it was great. And I got to see them, on the floor between acts. But yeah, super cool. I'm glad the Brazilians got their shout out, and I hope it makes the video cut. I hope that's the take of YYZ they used for the movie is last night. That would be super cool. Yeah, so great show.
That's some home cooking.
Let me say a bit about Rushcon, okay? Super nice of them to bring me out. I was super grateful for the opportunity to be here. Never thought I'd get to see Rush in their hometown. I mean, just like such a blessing. And also, like, just to become more a part of the Rush family, because it is a family. It's not a fan base, it's a family. And the band knows it, and the fans know it. And Rushcon was just so great to just like be around my fellow Rush fans. I really love that a lot. Just in itself, just chatting with people, like, if you know, and they know, and it's super great. And just the whole Rushcon was pretty Neil-centered too, in a way that really moved me and touched me. So let me talk about that for a minute. At Rushcon, I got to meet Neil's sisters, Judy and Nancy. They were there. And on a Saturday, they did it at the El Mocambo. It's like a famous venue where everybody's played, including, I think, Rush has played there. And like U2 has played there. And I don't know, the stairs list all the artists. There's tons of famous people. Gordon Lightfoot, just like, it's been around forever. And it's like, yeah, it's a great venue in Toronto. Hey, I want to play there. So like, keep that in mind. I want to play there. They had the second day, the Saturday all-day event there. And they had Kevin Anderson there. And he's the author, the sci-fi author, if you know him. He's big in the sci-fi world. But he's the one who co-wrote the Clockwork Angels book with Neil. And so he was talking about his friendship with Neil and his collaborations with Neil. And it was really, really moving, because he started his presentation and he's like, I just want you to know that, I'm going to say some things I've never said before to anybody. These are things I haven't told before. And it's all very personal. So I would appreciate it. Don't, if you wouldn't, don't record this. And everybody, everyone was cool with that. And so he's talking about Neil and his relationship with Neil and working with Neil and collaborating with him and being his friend, mostly. I mean, they became really good friends. And it was cool for me because Kevin lives in Colorado near me. He's like about an hour away. So we got to bond a little bit over that. And later, like, spoiler alert, but like later the next day, I find out that he's sitting next to me at the concert. So I was hanging out with Kevin all night last night. We were concert buddies, and then we went out for a drink afterwards. It was super cool. And so, yeah, good to see you, Kevin. Great meeting you. but Kevin was, telling these moving stories, including about, you know, Neil's incredible losses that he experienced, and Kevin's interactions with him during that. And he told one story that just crushed me. I mean, and I don't even know how much I'm supposed to tell, because it was, I guess it's not a recording, but like I don't know how much I should recount. But yeah, just the way that he kept corresponding with Neil when Neil was just out of pocket, just like gone, because he was, did the ghostwriter thing and was still just, and Neil thanked him for being one of the few that had just like never gave up on him and kept writing even when Neil wasn't writing back. That's basically the essence of it. It was just super moving. And he's telling all these stories in front of Neil's sisters, who are sitting right next to me, and I was like, wow, what a moment. And then of course he talks about Neil's passing, and how they had the perfect goodbye, as Neil described it, and it was just beautiful. Just a beautiful testament to their friendship, and just the humanity behind the band, and the human behind the lyrics, the brilliant human behind the lyrics, and the obvious brilliant drumming. And then to follow that tough act of Kevin, bringing the room to tears, Neil's sisters got on stage. Judy and Nancy both talked about just Neil as an uncle, and Uncle Neil. And it was just so fun to hear how he was around the family, and how considerate he was of them, and how he was, yes, just a normal guy and still normal Neil when he was with the family. But he also, had opportunities to spoil them, and he would take them, and especially his parents, like the first time he played Radio City Music Hall, he, flew his parents out and got him a limo and a hotel, and it's a funny story. But yeah, so it was really great to hear from them as well. So yeah, Rushcon, really good. They had some fun games, and I got to tell you, I participated in some of the games. In one of the games, I was Name That Tune, and I volunteered. Jillian, hi Jillian. Jillian, one of the organizers of Rushcon, just like, do you want to play? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, And so I came up on stage. We did Name That Tune, and it was like, I think I did 3 rounds or something like that. And the reason I did 3 rounds is because I kept winning, and I won the whole thing. I was the winner, and I won a cool like time standstill clock, and that was awesome. And honestly, I was super scared to join because I was afraid I'd be exposed as a poser fan or something, because there are definitely some pockets of holes in my Rush knowledge. Like, I don't know the 90s and 2000s Rush as well as like the 70s and 80s, and then the last 2 albums I know pretty well. And so yeah, just kind of like some holes in there. And so I got exposed though on those holes for sure. But the early stuff, man, like I was doing pretty well. I was on it. I was pretty fast on the buzzer, and I made sure to form my answer in the form of a question. No, but we had some fun with that. It was fun. I've never done anything like that. I played a lot of Song Pop Party with my sons, but I don't remember them having a Rush category. So, but I was, I'm practiced on the buzzer, like, name that tune. So it was super fun, and yeah, it was great. And so then I sang that night, that evening we did the boat harbor cruise in the Toronto Harbor, and thanks to Dubs for being my sound guy and helping me set up. Really appreciate you, man. Yeah, it was super fun. We got a little bit of a late start, and so I was still kind of sound checking where people were walking in, which just kind of ended up being walk-in music. I'm just like, all right, not really starting yet, but here we go. And then I played for a while, and it was great. People liked it, and they sang along, and they formed a little semicircle around me, enjoying the music, and yeah, it was really fun. And I got to meet Hugh Syme. Hugh Syme was on the boat. Yay! So great to meet Hugh. He told me a fun story about meeting George Martin. I guess it's one of his favorite stories because someone else referenced it. I'm like, all right, cool. I heard his favorite story. But yeah, Hugh, I love you, man. It was great to meet you. And so because Hugh Syme was on the boat, I added Tears to my set list. I wasn't really planning on playing it. I'm like, I don't know how well Tears is going to go over at a party. But I'm like, I got to play Tears for Hugh Syme, because he's the guy who played, not only being the art director for Rush for all those years and designing all their album covers, he also played the Mellotron on Tears, which is cool. I told him, I have an acoustic cover of this, and you should check it out on my YouTube channel. I recreated your Mellotron part, so I hope he does. But yeah, so I played Tears that night, and I used my guitar synthesizer to do my fake Mellotron, so got a little bit of the vibe at least. So yeah, it was super cool to to play Tears in Hugh Syme's presence, if you will. Yeah, I dedicated Body Electric to Kevin Anderson because he references it in one of his early books that he had sent to Neil and stuff, and that kind of started their friendship. And so yeah, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, it was just a great weekend. I was just moved by how Neil-centric it was. And let me just close by saying this, that this is the first time that Rush fans have really had an opportunity to gather like this since his passing. Unless you've attended, been lucky enough to attend like a Rush Fest. I performed at 2 Rush Fests in Scotland. No, excuse me, in Brazil, 2 in Brazil and 1 in Scotland. And so those are Rush fan gatherings as well. And so there's been some tributes to Neil that I've experienced in that way. But like, this was just different because you're celebrating it with a band, And so it was great. It was cathartic. I think it was great because, he was gone. Suddenly he was gone. And we didn't really get a chance to say goodbye. And so I think we needed this. And I'm so grateful that they went out and did it the way they did it. And, Annika was great. And the keyboard guy's great. I don't remember his name. But yeah, he was fun. Lauren, something like that. So yeah, and the visuals are great. It was just so fun. It was just, if this is the last time I ever see Rush, I can't be sad. I'm like, this was perfect. This was perfect. No complaints. 5 stars. All right, so that's my take on the Rush show and my weekend. And thanks to all the friends I met along the way. Appreciate meeting all of you, and thanks to the fans who came up and said hi. I got recognized a few times, which was super cool. It's always fun. It doesn't happen enough where it's annoying, so it's just fun. And always happy to say hi and take a picture or whatever for people that just appreciate my music. And it's just, I couldn't be a full-time musician without you. So I'm so grateful for each of you. And come see me. I'm out on the road. Like in this fall, I'm coming back to the UK and Ireland, and I'm coming to Germany again in January, and the Netherlands a little bit. And I'm around the US in this fall as well, mostly back east. I'm doing a couple shows in California, some shows in Florida. So yeah, so come see me. I'm getting around a little bit. And yeah, this is Mike Massey signing off. Cover the music, cover the world.